Hello, friends. Today we're going on a journey to space, to the real moon. Wow, isn't that exciting? Have you ever looked up at the sky and seen a big, bright, round ball? Of course, that's the moon. It's always there, close to us. Sometimes it's full and round, sometimes it looks like a half circle, and sometimes you can't see it at all. Why does that happen? Why does the moon shine? What's on its surface? And can people live on the moon like in sci-fi movies? Today, we'll learn everything about the moon, what secrets it hides, and if people could one day build a real lunar city there. So, are you ready for a space adventure? Then sit back, fasten your seatbelts, and let's go. So, the moon is Earth's satellite. Imagine this. Earth is a huge planet, and the moon is its most loyal companion. It's like a little friend that's always nearby and never runs away. It orbits around our planet and never flies off far, far away. The moon isn't a planet or a star, but exactly a satellite. Stars are those that shine on their own, like the sun. But the moon only shines because it reflects light from the sun, like a mirror. Yes, really. The sun shines, and the moon reflects its light straight to us on Earth. The moon is 384,400 kilometers away from us. That sounds far, but in space terms, it's actually pretty close. To help you understand, if you walked to the moon on a magical staircase, it would take you almost 9 years. Wow! And you know what? The moon is the brightest and biggest object in the night sky. Sometimes it looks like a big pancake, sometimes like a banana or a crescent. Why? It's all because of the moon's phases. The moon orbits the Earth and Earth orbits the sun, so we see the moon from different angles. Want to know a little secret? The moon always shows us the same side. From Earth, we always see just one half of the moon. The other side is dark and hidden. Scientists even call it the far side of the moon. What does the moon really look like? From Earth, the moon seems smooth like a ball, but if you were standing on its surface, you'd see that it's full of craters, mountains, and pits. The moon looks like a giant piece of cheese with holes, or like dough with little dents from your fingers. Why are there so many holes and dents? It's because millions of years ago, meteorites, giant space rocks, crashed into the moon. They hit it at incredible speed and left behind round craters. And guess what else? The moon has seas. But don't grab your swimsuits just yet. There's no water there. Lunar seas are flat, dark areas on the moon's surface. People used to think they were real seas, but later they found out it's just ancient lava that hardened. Billions of years ago, the moon had volcanoes. There are no trees, no grass, not even little bushes on the moon. There's not a single drop of water on its surface. Why? Because the moon has no atmosphere. Without it, water would just evaporate and drift off into space. Legends and myths about the moon. Did you know that people have been telling stories about the moon for thousands of years? Some cultures believed that the moon is a magical boat sailing across the sky. Others thought it was the face of a giant or a wizard watching over people. In China, they tell a story about a magical rabbit who lives on the moon and makes an elixir of immortality in his mortar. And in some countries, people believed there's a girl with a lantern on the moon who is looking for her way home. And some even said the moon is made of cheese. Why? Because it looks yellow and has holes like a wheel of cheese. What do you think? What could be living on the moon? Who was the first to land on the moon? Now it's time to talk about real heroes. Yes, astronauts. The first person to step on the moon was Neil Armstrong, an astronaut from the USA. It happened in 1969. He flew there on the spacecraft Apollo 11. When he stepped onto the moon, he said, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." His friend, astronaut Buzz Aldrin, was there with him. They walked on the moon, planted a flag, and collected rocks to study back on Earth. And there are still footprints from their boots on the moon. Do you know why they haven't disappeared? Because there's no wind or rain on the moon, nothing to blow or wash them away. Why is it hard to live on the moon? Let's figure it out. Can people live on the moon like in a house on Earth? Problem 1. There's no air on the moon. Without air, we can't breathe. On Earth, there's air everywhere, but on the moon, there's none. So you'd need a spacesuit or a special capsule with oxygen. Problem 2. Temperature. During the day, it can be plus 120 degrees Celsius, hotter than boiling water. And at night, as cold as minus 170 degrees. Super freezing, so we'd need special shelters that can heat and cool us. Problem 3. Water. There are no rivers or seas on the moon, but scientists have found ice deep underground and in shady craters. In the future, people might make water from that ice. Can we build a city on the moon? Scientists and engineers are already designing special lunar bases, like research stations, but on the moon. These bases will protect people from cold, heat, and radiation. The plan is to build domes or underground homes right inside lunar caves. There, people could live, grow plants, and do experiments. Scientists are also thinking about how to make oxygen right on the moon, like from lunar soil or from ice. Imagine a little city under a dome with greenhouses, labs, and even space vehicles driving across the moon's surface. Would you like to live in a city like that? Moon's mysteries and secrets. The moon still holds many secrets. For example, why is one side of the moon covered in craters, but the other is smoother? What's deep beneath the moon's surface? Were there ever volcanoes on the moon? And scientists are looking for huge underground tunnels on the moon, lava tubes. These long caves could be a great shelter for future settlers. And here's another fun fact. The moon is slowly moving away from Earth every year. Very slowly, but still, about 3 to 4 centimeters per year. The moon. Today and tomorrow, right now, astronauts are getting ready to return to the moon. There's a project called Artemis, where people plan to build a base and walk on the moon again. Maybe very soon people will live and work on the moon, grow vegetables there, and build laboratories. And maybe you will be the first to build a school or a playground on the moon. Imagine astronomy lessons right in space. Fun moon facts. If you weigh 30 kilograms on Earth, you'd weigh only 5 kilograms on the moon, because gravity there is 6 times weaker. On the moon, you can jump 6 times higher than on Earth. You can't hear sounds on the moon because there's no air. It's completely silent. Lunar dust is super sticky and clings to spacesuits like flour. The moon has no clouds at all. Conclusion. So, friends, today we learned so many interesting things. That the moon is our satellite, that it's covered with craters and lunar seas, that there's no air or surface water on the moon, that people have already been there and are planning to return, that we might build real bases and live in space. Would you like to be astronauts and go to the moon? Tell us in the comments, and also share what you liked most about the moon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up and hit the bell so you don't miss our next space adventures. See you soon, friends. And remember, dreaming about stars and the moon is not just fun, it's super exciting. Bye-bye.